By January 1999, the Lara Croft video game franchise is a goldmine.
Lara Croft launched IDOS literally in '96, and we rode on the back of Lara to where in 1999 we were literally the fastest growing stock on the NASDAQ, the fastest growing company, mid-sized company in the world. Our stock went from something like 9 to 109 in less than a year.
Lara is a fantasy. She is what everybody wants to be, boy or girl. She represents, in a way, an Indiana Jones type character where you can go out and find something, hunt it down, take care of the baddies, and then prevail over evil.
IDOS stock is soaring thanks to strong Christmas 1998 sales of Tomb Raider 3. Soon after, however, sales of the new game begin to slow.
We created very large environments, and we didn't guide them through enough. I think in hindsight, when we look back now, we gave them a key and we said, ha, go and find where you use this key. We didn't tell them, and they'd have that key for hours and they couldn't find where to use it. And it almost became frustrating.
So when Tomb Raider 3 came out, how are you going to be able to continue those rates of sale with other games? So we purchased companies or we put other games in development, but nothing had the same impact as Tomb Raider. So you go back to core and say, well, we need Tomb Raider 4 now.
Tomb Raider: The Last Revelation is released for Christmas 1999, but Lara's fans are more than frustrated by the fourth game.
I don't think anybody was happy with the game at the end of the day. We felt our results could have been better. We were asking way too much of the team, expecting them to be able to put these types of games out year on year on year.
We said, look, we've been everywhere. We've been into London, we've been into sewers. Let's get back to Tomb Raider. Let's go back to Egypt. Let's go back to where we started.
But for Lara, going back to her roots will be her last adventure. She finally meets her match in an Egyptian tomb.
So we came up with the idea of killing her off.
Quickly, girl, before it collapses around you.
We also thought we'd get a holiday if she wasn't around. We always thought that the consumers would never believe for one moment we're going to kill Lara off. But it gave us a clean slate.
Although sales for the shocking sequel don't reach earlier records, Lara's fans do show up to bid her a final farewell.
I mean, everybody can say, well, it wasn't that great a game, but then you look at Tomb Raider 4 and it still sold multiple millions of units. So it couldn't have been that bad.
You know, the end of The Last Revelation was an important sort of milestone for us because that meant that the next generation games were being developed and being worked on.
For years, the debate has raged over which actress will play Lara in the long-anticipated feature film. And the winner is...
What was the most gratifying part for me is seeing Angelina Jolie portray those exact same qualities. You know, Angelina herself is like that, from what I've heard, but she certainly portrayed Lara Croft in that way. That she was kind of a take-no-prisoners gal, and that's Lara Croft.
In a pleasant surprise for fans, Lara rises from the dead in December of 2000 for the release of her next game, Tomb Raider Chronicles.
We had sort of no intention of doing the fifth game, but it sort of meshed in with the development process, and we sort of had two teams, one team that were very focused on next generation at that point. We had this idea, there were a few loose ends we wanted to tidy up.
To the study, gentlemen, where we may pontificate over the day's disheartening events.
And we did it as a flashback. We thought, let's go and do that whole sort of, you know, flashback thing with young Lara.
This place gives me the creeps.
There were holes in the Lara history which were never filled, so you saw Lara as a 16-year-old where she met this character Von Croy, who was her sort of her mentor.
You must stay close and follow my instruction.
Plays a fairly big part in Next Generation.
Dead or alive, the games keep coming. A new Lara Croft game is announced for November 2002.
It's going to be called The Angel of Darkness. It is Lara in a whole new light, in a whole new world. A little darker, a little edgier, a little grittier. She's not your brother's Lara. She's going to be a new Lara with a new look, and she's in a lot of trouble, and you got to help get her out of it.
Something happens in the beginning of this game which suddenly the world is out to get Lara, which is totally alien to her. And that means that the situation that she's in, what she has to do is very, very different.
People are going to get a much more in-depth look at her personality and actually be able to experience her feelings, her fears, her likes, her dislikes. She'll be vulnerable for the first time.
And for the first time, players will feel a special connection with Lara, unlike any before.
The Lara that you play will be potentially different than the Lara that I play, not physically in looks, but maybe in outfit, but more so in ability. I might be able to run a little bit faster than you, so I can get through that door that you can never get to because it closes before you get there, but you might be able to climb better than me, so you can shimmy around that corner and drop into that room that I can't get into.
So the ponytailed heroine lives on, at least in some sort of alternate universe, and in the hearts of fans worldwide.
What does Lara represent? I think somebody that really knows her mind. She really has a zest for life.
Lara Croft was not only a video icon, she was the digital diva and still is for all of computer technology.
Even today, we've seen lots of the games come and go. They're always going to be the next sort of Lara Croft replacement, and still today she reigns supreme.
She is the industry icon for the next generation of hardware. Just
Lara Croft is kind of a role model for women out there who find themselves sometimes in a male world where they can say, you know what, I'm my own woman. I don't need men. I make my own rules.
Miss Croft!
Give a girl a break.